There are three aspects that any organization can concentrate on in order to ensure that the management of its human capital is effective and successful in terms of how it is deployed and how engagement is driving organizational performance, but more importantly, it is also how it impacts on the end customer. As Figure 1 illustrates, the three key aspects that need to be focused on include the following. Focus on growing skills and developing learning. Every organization is responsible for maintaining its existing human capital and continuously searching for talent that can further enhance the existing human capital power that drives current strategies and future ones. The asset base is based on investing in the levels of competence that are associated with the primary functions of any organization, its distinctive capabilities, and also the support in terms of enabling core function within the organization. Knowledge and expertise must go hand in hand. Human capital is not just to focus on the skills that are related to specific jobs and the variety of tasks that every employee gets engaged in. It is also about the breadth of knowledge and insight to give confidence and the knowledge gained in terms of creating the smart employee, managing a wider context through cognition. Focus on motivating, enriching, and cohesiveness. This is the second role for leadership teams who strongly believe that their first priority is the management of the human capital and also driving the core activities of the organization through engagement. At this level, the role of leaders is not to instruct from a distance and not to design in abstract ways and not to configure the organization through rigid systems and structures. It's very much about the presence of leaders in communication, in encouragement, in recognizing individuals who go the extra mile, and in rewarding in a transparent, fair, and equitable manner. This second aspect is so critical and unfortunately it tends to be severely neglected in a large number of organizations. Focus on delegating, empowering, engaging, and leading. This is where the payoff from creating the right culture, shaping the right work environment, stimulating the growth and development of individuals by engaging them in a complete holistic manner starts to pay off. The art of delegation and empowerment, for instance, is to allow individuals to make decisions, to manage their work surroundings, to champion the development through innovative thinking, to leverage through synergies that are available within the work climate, to benefit from knowledge that exists, to work in team formats, and to effectively contribute by raising standards of productivity, but also by creating better ways, suggesting new methods, and contributing with pride, with ideas, with novelty, and with the conviction that there are things that the organization has not thought about, which could be a journey of discovery for the future, and particularly if it means that contributions will, in the end, benefit the end customer. At the top level, an organization that takes engagement more holistically will allow empowerment to create more space for individual employees to influence and to guide both internally and externally. These three aspects, in a nutshell, will help any organization grasp the true meaning of employee engagement and create dedicated strategies for managing with positive energy, with the right focus, which is the human capital, as a top priority, and for delivering impact in a meaningful, caring and empathetic manner. Associated with the significance of managing human capital in order to prevent apathy from setting in is the realization that there are three distinctive dimensions which will guarantee the perfect customer experience. As has been seen in several case studies, if employee engagement is not defined holistically, the reaction of the organizations where disastrous incidents have happened is always to put the blame on the employees themselves and to take corrective action by withdrawing them from dealing with customers, or by making the statement that they will be sent to a fast-track, accelerated and intense training program on empathy or on dealing with customers in a different way. This is nonsensical and it's myopic, and in the end it is not a working solution. What is proposed in Figure 2 is a complete approach to ensure that the perfect customer experience can be guaranteed. Customer centricity dimension. If the customer does not exist from a purpose-based perspective, then the organization would be playing to lose. Customer centricity has to drive the vision. It has to define it in actual fact. And if that is the case, customer insight and intimacy is the power that assists in making the right decisions for configuring the organization as a business model to be customer-centric, for shaping the work environment which treats the customer at the core, for designing value creation with the customer needs and expectations right at the onset, and the customer in terms of their reaction at the end. Insight is also about understanding customer needs from a moving target perspective. Everything in a modern era is commoditized, and whatever is offered to the customer can be treated as a consumption contribution. So the ability of an organization to constantly replenish the needs of its customers is to use intimacy and gained insight in order to be prepared for future needs and spoken needs and new ways of creating delightfulness. Responsible organization that is customer-centric is one that makes transparent pledges through what it aims to offer or what will distinguish it from the rest, by having a charter which is explicit about what to expect, and by working on a value proposition that in the end will deliver unique and memorable experiences. This will commit the organization to working with the concept of empathy and to ensure that the work climate can help drive high levels of ambition. Dreaming with customer empathy is one thing. Defining customer centricity at a vision level is another. However, the reality is whether the organization has got what it takes in terms of delivering through capability and maintaining in a consistent manner the power of human capital, the level of positive engagement, the taste of empathy that the customers experiences, and the impression created within the customer, particularly when it comes to aspects that have positively affected the customer at an emotional level. This cannot be a letdown in the future, as the customers will feel the hurt, will feel the frustration, and will have to carry the pain for a long time. The emotional reactions are more valuable to the customers, and leaders must realize what is at stake here. And empathy is about touching and feeling the customer all the time, and any organization that is serious about customer centricity must define its business model so that there is a commitment to relationship building, there is connectivity, and there is proactive collaboration and co-creation with the customer for future provisions. Quality assurance dimension. This dimension is the one that most organizations focus on in isolation. It is looking at quality through compliance by revisiting policies and procedures, and in most cases it's just to ensure that the behavior of an employee, for instance, was consistent with what they were supposed to do. It is also to look at the reliability of the training, for example, that they give, and the steps that describe how a service is to be provided to customers. And it is about what an organization commits to giving a customer and the methods that it will use to serve a customer, with one aspect that is related to operational costs and efficiency levels. So organizations that use the quality assurance dimensions tend to react quickly by defending processes, procedures, approaches to the customer, and the expectation that customers have, which will be measured in terms of monetary aspects as opposed to going the extra mile. This dimension is only a baseline. It must not be used to communicate externally with the customers or to react to an incident as and when it takes place. This is an internal dimension for ensuring that the organization has quality as a foundation and can deliver superior standards of quality with least cost, highest reliability and consistency aspects. And it must also use a smart approach to designing processes and procedures enabled by policies that look at the things that affect customers most. Beyond that, this has no role in impacting on customers through the generation of unique and memorable customer experiences. Customer empathy dimension. Likewise, this is the dimension that will distinguish leaders from the rest. It is the dimension that ultimately will make a difference and will make customers love their brand and become loyal through lifetime advocacy. Organizations wanting to move forward with empathy in mind must use the power of big data analytics and gained insights by getting closer to customers through feeling them, judging them, observing them, understanding them, and empowering them through encouraging their close involvements. Insight is more emotional as opposed to just psychological and physical needs determination. Unless an organization gets closer to the customers by being connected through their proactive engagement, it will become difficult to provide the perfect customer experience. In the end, real empathy is giving the customers what they want as opposed to designing for the customer what is perceived as their needs. They could both mean the same thing, but there is more power in making the customers think and feel that they are in the driving seat. They are deciding as to precisely what they want. The notion of personalization and individualization is in the end linked to the decision making as opposed to the parameters that are required for their journey and for the experience that they wish to experience. The measurement of a real customer experience that is delightful is the degree to which it is emotionally fulfilling in terms of its outcomes.